Hello and welcome to the Child Care Business Coach podcast. Thank you once again for taking your precious time out to join me. I really, really appreciate you taking the time and giving me your time. Time is such a valuable asset. And so I am very appreciative of you. As you can see today, I'm not alone. I am with a friend and a colleague and someone that I look at as a mentor, Maraya Brown. And she has just influenced my life for a few years now. Maraya and I have been in the same programs together. And so, Maraya, I will let you introduce yourself. I think you probably do a better job than I do. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi. Like she said, I'm Maraya Brown. I am a Yale and functional medicine trained women's health expert. My specialty is women with their hormones, their vitality, their libido. And to the men that are listening, yes, I actually do work with a number of men as well, either women who have been clients that sent me their husbands, or sometimes men that I've met in entrepreneur masterminds. And we still get to just focus on how do we create legacy and tremendous success without burnout.
And that is a big, big deal for all of us, I think. Burnout is such an epidemic right now, it feels like. The last call I was on earlier today, we were talking about how hard it is to hire in our society. And I do think a lot of that has to do with the burnout. And it's causing a lot of leaders to burn out. So you and I both work with a lot of people in leadership position. We work with high performing individuals. So how do you see that affecting our burnout rates?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the challenges is it's a lot of sweeping under the rug. Let me just deal with this fire that's in front of me. Let me deal with this fire that's in front of me. But what I also know with the successful entrepreneurs and business owners that I've worked with is true fulfillment requires three things, and that's money, it's love, and it's our health.
Right.
And so often what happens is we can be so focused on building the business and then with what's left over pouring into our relationships and our community and our family. And often our foundational well-being, our health gets put on the back burner.
Yes.
And then we see burnout, which really, what is burnout? It ends up with the consequence of heart disease and stroke. It ends up with the consequence of chronic stress and mental health disorders and high blood pressure and weakened immune system, and women in particular being diagnosed with autoimmune conditions, all of the stress related conditions that then contribute to a pretty significant percentage of deaths in the world. And then it also adds to what we know is just work-related stress. 20% increased risk of heart disease, 40% increased risk of stroke, both of which could be prevented if we simply focus on our health just a tad bit more. It doesn't have to be huge, monumental, cut out every food and only eat cardboard and exercise 5 hours a day. But it's
Right.
just to stop sweeping it under the rug quite so much.
I really agree. I love that. I absolutely can resonate. I do have an autoimmune disease, and a lot of it was from just overworking. I literally worked myself sick at one point in my career. I had the mindset that I had to be all and do all. And so today I live with a neurological disease. And I know, well, just from medical testing and everything, that it was actually triggered. It was dormant and triggered because I was living a lifestyle that wasn't conducive.
Yep. My thyroid and adrenals crashed in 2014. I was running the women's health in all sorts of places. I was working as a midwife with lots of, 24-hour shifts at the hospital, and also had babies and running businesses. And I didn't listen to the subtle whispers of increased fatigue, changes in sleep, increase in irritability, not wanting to be touched, little bits of sadness, which then creeped up to aches and pains and some strange rashes. And then that creeped up to, man, I'm really exhausted. And by the time I hit the afternoon, I can't keep going. And honestly, it was so crazy. Even as a healthcare provider, I didn't reach out for support. I think I was embarrassed. I'm supposed to be the
Yes.
perfectionist.
Yes. Who has the answers, right? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and then when I finally did, lo and behold, my thyroid and adrenals had both crashed, and the fascinating thing is I actually had seen my PCP, 6 to 8 months earlier and similar symptoms,
Oh.
and they had run labs, they'd even done a thyroid ultrasound, and I was told everything's normal. But had they run better tests and looked through a different lens, it could have been nipped in the butt 8 months earlier and not have ended up with such a crash where I literally became, like, incapacitated until it recovered, and I'm still on meds for my thyroid today since 2014.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
opposed to meds, they fit their role, but
Yes. Yes. But it would have been nice to avoid it. I totally can resonate with
Mhm.
that because I'm pretty much in the same boat. And mine happened in 2012, where I found myself passing out just randomly. Like I passed out at Walmart. I passed out in line in the drive-through at Starbucks. And that could have been
Oh,
really
no.
dangerous. Yeah. And I was sleeping 20 hours a day, literally. Could not wait. I was literally just waking up enough to get my children off to school. I would wake up when they were coming home from school and just really struggling to get through my days. And that's when I was diagnosed with narcolepsy.
Oh my
And
god.
so same kind of thing where again, had the signs were there, but instead it became this, oh no, this is just a disease you have. But at the same time, nobody talks about that part, that it could have been
Mhm,
prevented. And as we're
mhm.
talking, it of course reminds me of my husband, which is past now, but he died of kidney failure and he struggled with diabetes for so many years of his life and heart disease. But really, he worked so much that he wasn't putting
Mhm.
his health first.
Yep.
So the whole topic is just so near and dear to my heart because I don't think we realize in our society how we're literally working ourselves to death. And something I really want to point out too is I want my audience to really hear those symptoms that you were talking about. Because how many of those symptoms, and I know some of you that are listening out there are like, yeah, I get the aches and pains, but I'm just getting older. Or, yeah, I'm really tired, but it's just, especially for women, I hear like, oh, I'm perimenopausal. And there's excuse after excuse. So, can you talk
Mhm.
about that a little bit?
Yeah, so the symptoms to take seriously. If you're waking up in the morning not feeling rested, having an afternoon slump and needing an extra cup of caffeine to keep going, not normal. Really strange cravings, like extreme sweet or salty
Mhm.
cravings. Waking up in the middle of the night, not sleeping a full 8 to 9 hours. Brain fog. If you feel like, gosh, I just can't place the word, or I walk into a room and I don't remember why I walked into the room. Obviously, for women, our menstrual cycle is the fifth vital sign. So changes in menstrual cycle, changes in pronounced irritability, more pronounced PMS. For some women and men, you'll start noticing changes in body composition. Like, gosh, I'm putting on extra weight and I nothing else has changed. I'm doing all the same things. Obviously, blood pressure and stress level and anxiety and depression, all of that, I think I would say take very seriously. Thinning hair, changes in skin,
Mhm.
little rashes that can pop up. Those are all signs that your body is saying enough is enough. This something is not working. And even if you've gone to your healthcare provider and that you've been told everything looks normal, from a functional medicine lens, there's so many other lenses that we can look through, tests that we can order to take you into consideration as a unique individual that deserves to live an absolutely spectacular life so that you not
Mhm.
only have the wealth and the success and loving relationships, but your health in order to enjoy them.
Before it is something that's irreversible. I think that's what's so
Yeah.
important. So you're
Mhm.
saying that these symptoms are going to come on first. They're like the warning signs to just your body basically
Mhm.
telling you, stop, something's wrong, take a look.
Yeah. Yeah, the fatigue, the brain fog, if you notice yourself getting sick easily, those
Okay.
are all signs that it's time to take seriously because when we continue to just be in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn because of
Mhm.
stress level, what ends up happening is our digestion is turned off, our hormone production is turned off, and our immune system are turned off because the body's gonna choose either stress or bless. It can't be in both
Okay.
places at the same time. So if we're
Right.
in stress mode, it means we're in survival. I'm being chased by a lion. I need to run fast, fight hard, or freeze well.
Yep.
And so in that context, I don't need a healthy immune system. I don't need the amazing hormones that are going to keep my libido and my mood steady. I don't
Right.
need my digestion to be on point. That's all on the blessed side, which is when my nervous system feels calm and my stress level is not over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, that is awesome. I mean, it really just hit me hard as you're saying that, because I know in daily conversations I have with friends, colleagues, whatever, we hear these aches and pains, and we just, a lot of times, we talk it up to aging, or, oh, I have the children now, I have this and that. And it just really honestly never dawned on me until you just said it. Like, oh, these are all warning signs that we need to start taking seriously
Yep.
and not ignore.
And just like you said at the beginning, our time is precious. We
Yes.
can't, no one has figured out yet that I know of how to stop time.
Yeah.
Um, and we can age with vitality up. I mean, if you compare it to your business and someone told you this is just all the money you're ever going to make and welcome to being in business in 2024, you wouldn't go belly up to that. You know,
No.
you and I, Evelyn, we both work with individuals that are going to be, no, 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 I'm part of that top 7%. I'm top
Yes.
of that, part of that
Yeah.
top 1%. I'm not going to just suck it up to welcome to 2024.
No.
I'm going to find my way around it and ensure that I have a tremendously successful business. I'm not going to work myself to the bone, and I'm going to continue to have impact and create legacy. And what I want to add is that you can do it with a sense of vitality, not living on caffeine, not dealing with the bloating
Mm.
and the gassiness and the diarrhea and the constipation and all of the GI stuff, that you can actually absorb the food that you're eating and feel energized all day long.
Wow.
And then obviously for women, that perimenopause and menopause thing is a whole nother conversation, but it is one of my specialties. Mhm.
Yes, it is. And that's kind of why I brought it up, because I know that it is a specialty of yours. And it's so important for us to really deal with it and to not pretend like it's not happening, and how it affects us. Because bottom line, we have these big goals that we're all driving towards, but we don't allow our body to really rest and recuperate and get us there. And I absolutely love the book. I don't know if you've read it, The 10X is Easier Than 2X by Ben
Mhm.
Hardy and Dan Sullivan. But that's, as you were speaking, it just made me think about that book so much, about how a lot of times we think we just need to do more, 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 but really less is going to help us to achieve our goals, and it's going to help us to take care of our bodies. And just that pause. I actually had a therapist a couple years ago, and when after my husband passed away, I was just under so much trauma. I was really having a hard time getting my brain back.
Yep.
And so she and my neurologist, who takes care of my narcolepsy, they've actually got together and prescribed me a week off every month. And my initial reaction was, you guys are insane. There is no way I am taking a week off every month. Can't be done. And it took me about a month to come around where I realized, like, I'm not producing. And my teams actually kind of intervened and just said, we really think you need to do this because you're not producing. And so I did. And I did it for about a year. And what I found was that working the 3 weeks, being calm and centered and not so stuck in fight or flight, I was actually more productive, getting more work done, putting better quality work out than I was working a whole month. So
Yep.
now I kind of live by that.
Yep. I think the analogy that I give is we get to turn the lights back on. We don't necessarily even realize that we're fumbling around in the dark.
Yep.
But when you give yourself that pause, or you get a really thorough assessment, the beauty of my work is it's done virtually. So for those that travel a lot, or you're in who knows whatever country you're listening from, I've got you. You know, lab tests and kits can be delivered right to your front door. And we get to streamline your time and allow for that compartmentalization and pause
Yeah.
so that we can be more efficient. And now we go, gosh, the emotional labor that's playing out in the background, that's just that slow, constant buzzing hum that maybe you are telling yourself it's not there, but it's like fumbling in the kitchen with the lights off.
Yeah.
The moment the fatigue goes away, the moment the brain clarity comes back up, The moment confidence is boosted again because you're feeling better about your skin and your weight,
Yeah.
whatever it may be, you're sleeping better, the lights get turned back on. And now when we do work, we're more efficient with the work that we do. When we do have quality time with our loved ones, we're more present
Mhm.
and emotionally available.
Yeah. Well, and I love that too, because what I think a lot of us don't recognize is what you just described is overcoming the burnout, right? Really dealing with the burnout and getting back to what we're passionate and we love. I talked to so many people in the early childhood industry they started this job passionate, in love with working and helping the world be better for young children. But it's
Mhm.
a tough industry, which I don't know, in 2024, most industries are. So we see, I don't know, this is uniquely tough because now we're dealing with parents and the lives of young children. It's a lot of responsibility. And then with all the other issues our world is dealing with, we see the burnout rates so high that it's taking away our love and passion for what we first fell in love with.
Yeah.
And so what you're describing, I kind of went through a period myself where I thought, okay, I'm going to quit. I just can't do this. And after readjusting my life, I was able to come back to that love and that passion.
Well, and I don't know. I listen to that, and although I'm not in childcare, I support a lot of people in all
Mhm.
different industries,
Yes.
a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of CEOs, a lot of people in real estate, but also I'm a married individual. We've been together for 18 years, and there have been moments where I go, "Am I done here? How do I keep doing this? This is really hard." Maybe the passion has been lost. Maybe the purpose has been lost. We have 3 young children. We run a business out of our home. It's full. But then I go, "Wait a minute. What am I doing for my own fill up?"
Yes.
Because when I'm performing on fumes, or I haven't slept well, or I'm not feeling well, everything that I do feels like it's requiring more effort, and I might think that I'm losing the passion, I'm losing excitement for what it is, but really, I've lost the passion and the excitement for me. And when
Yeah.
I choose to do me and look in the mirror and pour into me, there's the zest. And
Hmm.
now when I'm looking through that lens, these eyes, when
Yeah.
they have brought the zest back, I'm looking through them and now colors are brighter, smells smell better, music sounds better, and that project or that marriage or that child that felt difficult
Yes.
doesn't quite feel so difficult anymore because I'm coming from a more empowered and resilient place.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Maria, for my audience, explain what is functional medicine,
Yeah.
because so
Sure.
many of us are used to just going to a doctor. So, what
Yeah.
is the difference and why is it so much more impactful?
Yeah, I would think there's 2 ways to kind of decipher functional medicine. One is, you might go to your dermatologist and then you'll go to your OBGYN and then you'll go to your orthopedist and then you'll go over to your rheumatologist, depending on your cardiologist for
Yeah.
various compartmentalized areas of medicine, and how amazing that they're specialized in that way. Yes, yes. Functional medicine reminds us that those organs don't
Yeah.
live in silos. It's
Yes.
it's more integrative and foundational. So rather than saying, "Huh, I have a bleeding wound that is infected." I could put a Band-Aid on it and now it's covered up. Hey, look, that wound is gone. Like a child, you put a Band-Aid on and now they're no longer crying. But the reality is the infection is still brewing underneath the Band-Aid. So
Right.
where can we, instead of putting a Band-Aid on, yes, it might be nice to stop the hemorrhage or the bleed now, but how about we get to what caused the cut in the first place and why did the infection
Yeah.
happen? And so it's a more comprehensive, holistic approach. And the testing that we do through a functional medicine lens is slightly different. And the ranges that we consider normal are also slightly different. So I did my nurse practitioner
Okay.
training at Yale, and I'm grateful for that education. I got a great education, but there was a lot that was lacking. And I
Yeah.
have to go, shucks, for my first 10 to 15 years in practice, I missed some diagnoses. And now that I've been training through the Institute of Functional Medicine and addressing it in a more
Mm,
holistic way,
yes.
taking into consideration someone's lifestyle and time and access to food where they live, what their actual goals are, comprehensive, qualitative and quantitative, and different testing, like hormones and adrenals. We're going to look through urine and saliva, and we'll look at gut microbiome testing through stool.
Mm.
I won't, the pathologist will, but we'll get
Yes.
the report.
Yes.
So functional medicine is just a more holistic approach to really help us along our journey of longevity and vitality, not just symptom reduction and prescription care.
Well,
Mhm.
I absolutely love too that you're looking at the whole body as one unit.
Mhm.
I know with my husband was, we started our journey through his illness in 2012 and he
Mhm.
passed in 2021. And so it was 9 years of hospital stays and testing. And one of my biggest frustrations as the wife was, like you were saying, he had a nephrologist for his kidneys. He had a
Mhm.
cardiologist for his heart. He
Yeah.
had, oh my goodness, I forget the diabetes doctor. He had
Yeah.
his, and then
Endocrinologist.
the endocrinologist. He had a
Yeah.
wonderful endocrinologist. And then he had his primary doctor.
Mhm.
Um, and the problem is the nephrologist, it never failed, would prescribe this prescription. We would go to the endocrinologist who would say, oh, no, 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 he can't be on this. It doesn't work with this. Change it. Then we would go to the cardiologist. Oh, wait, no. Back to the
Yeah.
nephrologist who
Yeah.
basically said, hey, he's got kidney disease. I'm the one who gets to make all the shots here.
Yep.
And it was a nightmare because they are all in these silos.
And they're
And
simply not taught. They're not taught any nutritional approach.
yes,
Only 1/3 of physicians graduate from med school having taken one nutritional class.
wow, that's insane.
So if
Wow.
what you're looking for is prescription care and quick fixes, this probably
Yeah,
isn't the best place for you. At least I'm not. But if you're saying, "Wait a minute, where is their intersection?
right.
And is there something that can be changed rather than just another pill or prescription with diet, lifestyle, supplementation, mindset?" Then my answer is yes, absolutely. And miracles happen, prayer works.
Mhm.
Um, and I have a multidisciplinary team. It's me, there's a team nutritionist, there's a mindset coach, there's a trauma release specialist. I even have a sexologist on staff. But honestly, the starting point is just to honor that we all have full lives. Like,
Yes.
how can we just whittle it down and say, how do we get to the root of just a really thorough assessment to look at some potent tests and get a thorough peek at what is going on with your burnout and your stress level and how your body is
Mm.
detoxifying. What's currently going on with your hormones and markers of things like B vitamins and dopamine, which can sometimes,
Mhm.
especially for
Right.
entrepreneurs, is
Yeah.
lacking. And that's why we keep go, 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 go and never feel fulfilled enough. Right. And
Yes.
and and then to give you some one-on-one time just to go, here's a simple plan. Take these steps so that you can feel better. We move the needle, turn the lights, get the dimmer switch back on a little bit, and then you go, holy macaroni.
Yeah.
And then we allow it to be in phases.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
And as someone's ready, we can then add on more of a multidisciplinary team. I can look at all the tests that all your different providers have ordered. And maybe if you're like, I'm on this whole pharmacy of meds, and maybe you're
Yeah.
happy with them, but maybe you'd rather say, I want to go off of this one. And what other options do we have? And you get to be held
Mm.
in a more comprehensive way to really be seen for you and the complexities of your scenario.
Oh,
Mhm.
I absolutely love that, Maria. That is awesome. And you have
Mhm.
an event coming, right?
I do. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell my audience about this so that they can learn more about
Yeah.
you and just get
Mhm.
deeper into your world.
Sure. So on the screen, you see marayabrown.com/, just add pause to the end of that, PAUSE. And what I say is, you're not crazy, the world is. Okay, this is a time for women to come together and really take that pause so we can
Mm.
help you create some real clarity on the 6 areas that are keeping you in fine. I think of fine as a 4-letter word. How many women say I'm fine?
Yes.
Really, we go, no, 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 no. Especially men, if you have wives or women that are close to you and she says she's fine, let me tell you, she's
Yeah.
probably upset about something.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually get to come together. It will be 4 hours spread out over 4 days. You'll have the recordings for a week, and of course, a workbook to go along with it because women, particularly women in that, like, 35 to 55 age range, plus or minus,
Yeah.
the burnout and stress level becomes more pronounced simply because of what is happening underneath the hood with our hormones.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, the actual stress level at the cellular level is undeniable. And we have to allow for that pause, so to speak, to really get clear with what can I do to optimize my hormones? What can I
Okay.
do today to have more energy? So we'll be unpacking all of that. Once again, it's marayabrown.com/pause.
And
It's
I will
free.
put links in the comment section
Right.
and or in the
Mhm.
description. So for those of you listening to the podcast, go ahead and check that
Yeah.
out. I highly
Yeah.
recommend it. I mean, I can tell you
Yeah.
guys, and I know this is a bit traumatic, but as a widow, you can't take this seriously enough. And I know that the doctors out there, they do, like you said, it's almost like putting a band-aid over some things. And that's great if that's what you want. But
Yeah.
I don't know, to live a vital life
Mhm.
and just and enjoy life and have the energy to be there. I think things like working with you are just so, so important and can be
Yeah.
life
Thank
changing.
you. Thank you. And this event is free. So you're
Oh,
welcome to register, come and join, play with us, grab the workbook. Um, and hopefully not hopefully, there will be some profound aha moments to go, wow, I feel empowered with some solutions. I know the questions to ask. And of
yeah.
course, in the midst of it, I'll offer up my time and we can have a chat if you're looking for more personalized care. For the men that are listening, pause night might not be the best place for you to start out, but you're welcome to go to marayabrown.com and you'll see right there on the website. There's lots of places. Just apply for a call and we can have a chat to give you a personalized program. I also host retreats and couples work and all sorts of stuff.
So much
Mhm.
great things. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Maria. I
Thank
am
you.
excited to have you on the podcast and just really getting more of this, like taking care of our body and not just our businesses. It is so
Yeah.
vitally important. So thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, Evelyn, and thanks for all the work that you do. It's been fun cheering you on. I think we've known each other for maybe 5 or 6
5
years.
or 6 years now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I started. We started in the same coaching program when I had 0 clients. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Congratulations.
And for those of you listening, thank you so much once again for being here and listening towards the end. Definitely check out marayabrown.com/pause. And also for those of you who've been following our just all the things going on with the Visionary Circle through Childcare Business Professionals, we are going to be having a Visionary Circle event that we will be opening to just 5 people, only 5 that are not already members. So if that is something you're interested in, go ahead and email admin@childcarebusinessprofessionals.com, and I will also put that in the show description. Have a